Guys, one of the biggest misconceptions about Center Church is that Meredith and I planted this church. Guys, Meredith and I did not plant this church. God planted this church. And I say that because he was the one that put it on our hearts in 2017 to, leave the church that we loved in North Carolina and leave a secure job and move to Charlottesville, Virginia to plant a gospel-centered church in a strategic university town. It was also him who compelled the 37 adults and 12 kids who moved from North Carolina with us to plant the church. Guys, since launching the church in January of 2019, we have grown numerically, spiritually, and organizationally. By God's grace, we have baptized over 160 people. We currently have over 500 people meeting during the week in missional communities, in community groups on grounds, and in groups through our student ministry, and over 900 people who regularly gather with us to worship on Sundays. Not only that, but God has enabled us to establish a vibrant on-grounds ministry at UVA, and we are reaching and discipling and sending college students through that ministry. Every Sunday, we have 150 or more kids that are with us that are being invested in and taught the gospel. We have partner planted 6 churches in North America. We just parent planted our first church in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we have sent out 19 people overseas as missionaries. Guys, the grace of God has been all over our church. Well, back in 2022, we purchased our Westfield campus and we raised $550,000 through the Deep and Wide initiative to transform this space into a church facility. Well, guys, as we added one service after another to welcome all the people that God has been bringing to us, we simply realized that, our Westfield facility was our starter home, but it wasn't our forever home. So we began to search for our forever home. We had honestly hit a brick wall and were a bit discouraged when the Big Lots located on Branchlands Boulevard went out of business and that facility became available. Guys, for context, our current facility is 9,800 square feet and we own a whopping 45 parking spaces. Guys, the Big Lots facility on Branchlands Boulevard is 45,000 square feet, or more than 4 times the size of our current facility, and comes with access to over 400 parking spots. It is only 0.2 of a mile from our current facility. It has a dedicated stoplight on 29 North. It is in the middle of our community and is only 3 miles from grounds, and we thought this could be it. This could be our future home for ministry and hub for mission. So we reached out to the owners and they told us the same thing that everyone had told us. Sorry guys, we don't sell things, we buy things and we lease things. But it wasn't the end of the story because a bunch of you were praying. You see, unprompted and unknown by me at the time, a bunch of you had started praying over the Big Lot space. Well, wouldn't you know it, we checked in 4 months later, and sure enough, several leases hadn't worked out, and suddenly the owners were open to talking with us. Guys, I don't have time to give you all of the details of how God's fingerprints have been all over this process, but suffice it to say, God gave us favor in the negotiations, God gave us favor through a financing partner, and in October, our members voted to affirm the purchase of 590 Branchlands Boulevard with a close date of early January 2026. We want this new facility to have an 800-seat auditorium. That's more than 200% of our current seating capacity. Our mission from Jesus is to make, mature, and multiply disciples in this community, and an open seat is an open invitation to discipleship. But guys, we don't just disciple adults at our church. We also want to reach and disciple the next generation. Guys, it is not easy to be a disciple of Jesus in our culture today. And if we're going to raise a generation of resilient disciples, it is going to take a significant investment. That's why we are planning to more than double our kids' capacity in our new space and have a dedicated space for middle and high school students to make godly friends, to develop godly mentorships, and to become resilient disciples who walk with Jesus all of their lives. And we view this next facility as a home for ministry and a hub for mission. It's a home because the church is a family, and we want to continue investing deeply in relationships. It's a hub because together we're missionaries, and from this facility, we're going to go out locally, nationally, and globally with the good news of the gospel. Guys, this is a unique opportunity in the life of our church, and it's going to require a unique level of investment from each one of us, which is why we are launching the Forward Initiative. The Forward Initiative is a vision for discipleship, mission, and expansion focused on establishing 590 Branchlands Boulevard as our future home for ministry and hub for mission. Man, we're going to take 5 weeks to study the first 6 chapters of the book of Acts. And we're going to ask one question. How did the gospel move forward then, and how will the gospel move forward in our lives today? As we study the book of Acts, here's my prayer, that in response to God's grace, each one of us would grow and would give in a unique way. So guys, we have 2 goals for the Forward Initiative. The primary goal is 100% participation. Here's what we're hoping, that every person who calls Center Church home would be a part of this initiative in a significant and meaningful way. Our second goal is to raise $2 million in one-time gifts over and above normal tithes and offerings by the end of 2025. And guys, because we are deeply committed to the mission of God, we are going to give the first 10% of every dollar given to the Forward Initiative to the cause of missions locally, nationally, and globally. So Center Church, here's my request. Get ready. Get ready for what God has next for you and for our church. Get ready to see more people baptized, to hear more stories of life change, to make more disciples in Charlottesville and at the University of Virginia, to send out more church planters and more missionaries, and to see Jesus receive the glory that He is due in this city and around the world. Church, we have said it before, but we believe it more than ever. The future is as bright as the promises of God. Center Church, let's go make some disciples.